Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Company 119's The Coffee Cup. My name is Ryan Gilkerson. I'm creative lead here at Company 119, and we're excited that you could join us. Now, as you know, on Company 119's The Coffee Cup, we talk about all things digital marketing as well as branding and just marketing your business in general. We've reached out today to somebody that I consider to be one of the best in the business at branding and marketing in the entire Cleveland area, and that's the Flourish agency. With us today is Josh Marcus-Donnelly. He's Director of Business Development at Flourish, and we're really excited to have him with us. How you doing, Josh?
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you having me on today. Super excited.
Awesome. Man, you've got a lot on your plate. You're about to be a new dad. You got a vacation coming up. Flourish has a million projects that you're bringing in right now, so we appreciate you squeezing us into your schedule.
Totally, man. Yeah, it's a super exciting time for us. Can't wait for vacation, but also it's hard to pull away when you know you're in the middle of everything at this point. So it's going to be a great week.
I can imagine. That's awesome. We thank you for carving out some time for us. Now, Flourish Agency is a name that sits among the elite in Cleveland in branding and marketing. Tell us a little bit about what you do and maybe some of the projects we might recognize out there that Flourish has been a part of.
Totally. Yeah. I appreciate the kind words, to be honest with you. The prowess of what we've done as an agency and the caliber of team that we have here is really why I came on board. I came from a large agency before, B2B agency. And the Flourish has been around for 20 years. It was founded by two creatives. It was really a design shop for the first 5 to 7 years. And super crazy credit to those two guys because they were smart enough to understand that there was an opportunity to capitalize on the agency market and really started bringing in some incredible team members to really start rounding out that base. And over the last, I'd say 5 to 7 years, we've really honed in on becoming a full service agency across the board, obviously with, some holes in the things that we do, but not every agency can be phenomenal at everything. And we really try to stick to our core competencies, which are brand strategy, really strong creative and content development across the board, traditional, but especially digital at this point, UX, UI, and site development and design. And, we've been really fortunate to work with a wide range of brands. So we've worked with brands like American Greetings. They consistently tap us to help them kind of continue to innovate the way that they think and get outside the box. We've supported Vitamix in the area as well throughout the years. We helped Loctite, owned by a large company overseas called Henkel, has several consumer adhesive brands. And we helped rebrand and repackage all of their consumer adhesive brands here in the States, which is like over 150 SKUs. So super cool opportunity. Our largest client right now is actually a pharmaceutical client out of Boston, which is also really interesting. And yeah, across the board, Avery Dennison, we've worked with a wide range of the higher ed institutions in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, Case, Weatherhead, University of Akron, Cleveland State. Had a tremendous amount of success, but also, in addition to stewarding really established like large global brands, we really have a sweet spot of also helping younger or newer or, typically challenger brands and categories continue to evolve and kind of take on the larger or the category leaders head to head and have had some really awesome success the last couple of months. So we just became the agency of record for the United Way Greater Cleveland, which is an awesome opportunity to help them rebrand and rethink the way they go to market. Right Tool is another brand, an iconic tool brand that goes head to head with DeWalt and Bosch and all the other hand tool brands out there. National Safety Apparel, super cool company. You wouldn't realize that these companies are 200, 300 million plus. And National Safety Apparel provides everything from heat gear to the military, all the way to safety apparel for all the construction, big industry trades at this point. So I think what I love most about our team is really multidisciplinary, not very focused on being category specific, but more challenge and brand specific. So continuously seeking out brands that we think we can win with and add value to and obviously have a cultural fit with versus the world I came from where you saw billable hours. And if you know the agency world, you definitely know what that looks like. So
absolutely.
Super, super awesome that I got to join the team about 8-9 months ago. And and hoping to continue the success that we've had and the success that they had before I got here, and hoping to, take over as much as we possibly can.
That's awesome, Josh. You've got a lot of names that anybody in Northeast Ohio would be very familiar with. Obviously, some of the big names that you have out there. When it comes to branding, tell me something that is a common thread in terms of branding the different markets that you have. When you're talking about American Greetings versus a company that makes safety gear versus a company that makes manufacturing goods and things like that. Tell me something that runs common in branding, no matter what type of industry you're coming from or what type of industry you're trying to promote.
Totally. I appreciate the question. To be honest with you, while I know enough to be dangerous and obviously have strong points of view, we know in this world you can't be an expert at everything, which is why we have a really strong brand team here. But what I would say is with the larger brands, you're really just stewarding their current. They have a really strong legacy brand in most cases that isn't looking to evolve 180 degrees or make a big seismic shift. What they're looking for is new ways to leverage engagement tactics and kind of just evolving the brand through certain mediums. So we've been successful in doing that with very focused creative and content campaigns, social, obviously digital with all the pull through to the sites. And with the smaller challenger brands or the brands that maybe haven't focused on marketing as much, even though they're tremendously successful and have generated a massive amount of revenue for their organization, it's usually just bringing a lot of consistency and just pulling out and helping clarify the things that they already know about their brand. And while that seems simple, we're going through an exercise, our team went through an exercise today with White Tool. They know in their heart what that looks like,
right?
But they've never seen it on paper. And what I love most about the branding work that we do, and we say this all the time, is the benefit, obviously we know outwardly, is to bringing a stronger awareness and brand recall to them. But actually it does even more for the internal team because it kind of like allows them to rally around something that they all believe. And usually it energizes them just because it's a new perspective or a new flavor, but also it just kind of cohesively brings the disjointed pieces together, which you see a lot of in manufacturing. But a lot of challenger brands, they're either, what I've experienced, startups or even somewhat more mature brand, they either have really strong marketing and that's what built them, a social presence, a strong digital presence, or they have the opposite. Their product drove it.
Yeah.
And usually all we do is try to, elevate along the way, find unique and consistent ways to kind of engage their audience and look at the entire spectrum of the touch points versus trying to do a quick fix. So our team here, Kent Manson's our VP of strategy, could talk circles around me any given day about brand. This is what he does. And all I try to do is sound smart enough so that the people that I'm talking to want to have a deeper conversation with the rest of the team. So I hope that's a little bit of a perspective.
I'm in a very similar position here, Josh, so I can relate to that 100%. What drew me to reach out to you is the way that your company brands itself, which I think is genius. And recently here in Cleveland, we lost a family member. Let's be honest. We lost our cousin LeBron, who went over to LA and left us. But during the playoff run, you guys did something very interesting with the storefront of your offices that I thought was really, really cool. Tell us a little bit about what you guys did, and then also tell us a little bit about why, what prompts you to do things like that and why it works for you in drawing attention to Flourish.
Yeah, to be honest, every agency that isn't a global or really well-resourced large agency, agencies always looked at their own branding and their own marketing last in some cases. Sure. Flourish taking me on and obviously leveraging me as an outbound version of that for business development, and then focusing on some of our organic stuff as well. They did a pretty decent job before I got here, and we've been ramping up for the better part of 8-9 months and have a lot of other initiatives at this point. So for us, the leadership here, we just really rallied and really focused on generating just a little bit more of a conversation about our agency, or not even that, just to maybe become a little bit more active in the community. Even with the brands and the success we've had, not everyone knows we're here. And that's probably the same for most of the brands or most of the agencies in the area that maybe aren't really strong legacy brands at this point, or legacy agencies. And, I just had this idea. We were in the heart of Playhouse Square. Obviously, geography is something that we benefit from. And most people don't know what we are when they look at our windows. It's just, a pretty place with a bunch of well-designed, the inside looks super chic like any agency out there. But I just said, we're not using our windows. And the idea came right before the playoffs. I was actually thinking about writing a letter or something with the vinyls to LeBron, kind of thanking him before anything took off. And, it's not a quick turnaround with these things. So we essentially regrouped, I think, on a Thursday. Finals started here in Cleveland on Wednesday, the home game. So we had already gone down 0-2. And I just came up with the idea. I said, hey, we really need to leverage this. I don't know what it looks like. I pretty much pulled both our creative directors aside and just said, hey, we got to get this up. This is an easy way to get some organic conversation happening, a little bit of social conversation, really not even purely selfish at that point of around thinking that it would generate anything, right? One small thing isn't going to generate a media stunt or anything, especially in the Cleveland market. But what we tried doing was just to create some consistency. It's not the first one, or it's not the last one we're going to do. This is going to kind of become a thing that we leverage along with so many other internal PR tactics beyond just this window. And essentially, we just, on Thursday, came to them. By Friday, we were sitting at the lunch table sorting out creative ideas. Obviously, mine was the first to go, and they kind of took it and elevated it. And by Monday, we were fully laying it out, printing on the vinyls all day, Monday, Tuesday, pretty much setting it up. We printed them right in-house. If you obviously you got a chance to see it, or if the followers haven't, you could check it out on our Instagram page, Flourish CLE. But essentially every inch of our big bay windows, like 8 windows across the agency, we just put together some very cool decals, a goat head silhouette, number 23, a crown, and block CLE, and kind of scattered that across the windows. And then in the middle of that, what we did is we just highlighted the goat. And then in our middle windows, which are really strategically placed, we pretty much took a jab at every great player in the NBA by crossing their name out and then essentially leaving LeBron's not crossed out, and got a chance to have a little fun. Obviously, we added like Uncle Drew to poke fun at Kyrie and put Woody Harrelson's character from White Men Can't Jump, and just kind of threw some fun in there. But, we were really surprised, not because it was a cool idea and we knew that going into it, but more so, how quickly people would obviously engage with it. It was something simple, cost us, $200-$300 in vinyl, which is well worth the kind of traction we got. It would have been worth it without any traction, just to kind of show some personality to the area. And really from there, it was just the team kind of putting it up. The finals were here. Cleveland, ESPN was here for the finals. We have an awesome juice place right next to us. So luckily all the bougie people from ESPN kept sending people. And Bleacher Report picked it up, and it ended up being the top 3 on Bleacher Report for a couple of days, and got a nice amount of messages from the Cleveland community. So like reporters and different bloggers and influencers, and it was just nice to kind of see it reposted and see all the hard work. And the crazy thing is I'm almost downplaying our creative team's ability to kind of execute something that strongly in that period of time, because it wasn't done half-heartedly. It was really crisp. Our teams measured every little line of layout. We're talking 400 plus decals, and it was super cool. And this is an idea I had a while ago, and like I said, it's not the last. We had Dee Haslam in here just a few weeks ago, the owner of the Browns, who is a big-time board member with United Way, and the first thing she said was, "Awesome idea. When's the Browns one going up?" And
that's perfect. Well, for the Browns one, you're going to have all the quarterbacks. We've got 400 quarterbacks in the last 5 years or so.
Totally. I think Brokaw steals the thunder with their iconic jersey they've had in their window. So we might have to play it differently. But when the owner, and also someone that happens to be super influential and a billionaire, casually mentions something, you better believe that thing's going up, and we're already planning what the next one could look like with a little bit more lead time. So, like I said, just capitalizing on the things we've We do. We're a creative agency. That's one of the first things
Right.
I said. Why not show everyone our creativity? It kind of boggles me. And once you let loose, I mean, my idea literally was like, if they made 10, it was number 100 on the list. And none of mine came even close. They just tremendous. And,
It's one of those ideas, though, Josh, that when you see it and you walk past it, you think that was just something cursory that somebody just put together, and wow, that's a cute little idea. But there's so much planning and preparation into it. It's so strategic, and that's why you guys are great at what you do, because you make it look easy. And it's one of those things where people go, "Why didn't I think of that? That's a great idea." And then there's a reason why Flourish is here and why you guys do what you do. And that's what the magic of marketing is, that you make it look simple, but there was so much strategy behind it.
Yeah, totally. It was a cool opportunity. We legitimately only had that opportunity once in our life.
Sure.
The biggest iconic athlete ever, whether we knew he was leaving or not, was playing his last NBA finals at that moment, as far as we knew. And I just said, even if we rush it and we do it half-assed, let's get it up. And our team doesn't do anything half-assed, which I've learned at the point. So, yeah, it's super cool. It generated a lot of conversation. A lot of people still walked by the agency, loved it, took hundreds of pictures, and still had no freaking clue what we did. So, what we do. So it says a lot about maybe we should take our next step and redesign our own little decals in the window so people actually know we're an ad agency. But
there you go. How's your jumper, Josh? The Cavs are probably going to be looking for you to play a little two guard this year. Yeah.
I gotta say, man, if I call my wife calls me a Renaissance man, at least physically. But basketball is my kryptonite. Like, I can look athletic out there, and I can run fast, and maybe like a weird dribble once in a while. But you see my jump, my layup, like fast break, no one behind me.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times that thing's rimming out. No way.
Well, why don't you just stick to what you're good at? Director of Business Development at Flourish Agency. You guys are doing a fantastic job. We appreciate you taking some time out to tell us a little bit about the behind the scenes of how that all came together, and also the other projects that you work on. Josh, how can people find you at the agency? What's the best way for people to contact you if they want you to help with their brand?
Yeah, my cell phone first. I think it's attached to my hip 24/7 on vacation. I'm going to have to find a way to sneak it into my bathing suit so my wife doesn't see it. But, my cell is on the site. It's 440-668-3424. It's the 21st century. So text, call, email. But also, honestly, Instagram is probably the most powerful platform that I use at this point personally and for business development. And my Instagram handle is jmarcdon, MARCDON. And, any love, you ever want to drop a line, obviously we really appreciate you inviting us on. And I just happen to be the one that picked the straw to get to meet you today, which is super exciting for me personally. And like I said, super cool. It's not often we get a chance to actually shout ourselves out. You guys being super smart, having a podcast and something that kind of continues to boost thought leadership. And actually it shows quite a bit about your personality and your confidence in having other agencies out there be a part of this. I think that's a huge piece of what's missing in the agency world is there's so much to go around and everyone has a niche. And while we go into everything wanting to win, it's, when someone's realistic with us and tells us why we didn't win or we're not a good fit and they went with someone else, yeah, it makes sense. Good for them. Wish them the best. I wish the entire Northeast Ohio agency market success because it's already tough out there. It's a mid-market and, it's a super cool time. And Cleveland is not going to hopefully lose its cool because of LeBron. I think we've gotten to a place where I think we can sustain it for a little while now.
No, I would agree with you 100%. And let's be the leaders to change the conversation then, Josh. Somebody's got to be the ones to do it and start changing the way we look at it. And we appreciate you accepting our invitation to come down. So we thank you very much for that. I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk. Tell the other people around the agency they're next on the list. And we'll talk to some more of your guys over there as well and ladies that are working for your team. So thank you so much for coming on, Josh. Go enjoy your vacation, man. When's the clock start for that? You got to wait till 5 o'clock or they're going to let you get out of here?
I think I'm going to get out early, but only because my basement just happened to start a little flood a couple of years ago. So That was a fun text. Not only am I trying to close up shop here and tidy some things up, and please don't tell my wife that I haven't packed yet. So I'm supposed to be ready to go at 8:00 tonight. So hopefully get out of here soon and make it work. And again, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Would love the chance to obviously meet in person at some point. And I think what you guys are doing is super cool. And we definitely got a new fan and a new like on the page. And
awesome.
Excited for what you got to come.
Josh, we thank you very much. You have a good trip and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care.
So there you have it. We want to thank Josh Marcus-Donnelly, Director of Business Development at Flourish Agency in downtown Cleveland, for joining us. They do a great job, and we really appreciate him taking the time out. Listen, call us, Company 119. We'd love to talk to you about your branding strategy, your digital marketing strategy, and help you take advantage of the creativity that we have here, just like Josh does with his people downtown. Listen, you just learned more about branding and the agency world in Cleveland before you finished your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. Thanks for joining us.